The 501st Legion was one of the most famous clone forces in the entire Republic and are a fan favorite group of clones from the Clone Wars TV series. Recently, Lego has taken notes on this and given us fans a lot of 501st sets and minifigs. We've seen characters like Rex and Fives come out in sets alongside multiple 501st battle packs, which I have loved. And even though we've received these minifigs and sets, I feel Lego is just scratching the surface on the 501st Legion.
I want more. And I know I shouldn't.
Since the 501st Legion has so many interesting characters, it only makes sense that fans would want more. So today, I decided to tackle this problem myself and create a 501st themed collectible minifigure series, or CMF.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
That's right, today we are adding another CMF to the collection as I continue to put together a product line that Lego will likely never touch. But with that being said, sit back and relax, maybe grab yourself a sippy, and enjoy as I show you 12 501st clone troopers in this 501st CMF.
In my book, experience outranks everything.
When you think of the 501st Legion, the first clone trooper that has to come to mind is Captain Rex. And the only Phase 1 Captain Rex we've seen technically came in 2 sets all the way back in 2008, which means we haven't seen a Captain Rex in his Phase 1 armor in 16 years, which is absolutely crazy to me. And what else is also surprising is that we have never seen a realistic Phase 1 Captain Rex at all, which is why I think having a Phase 1 Rex and a 501st CMF would be an amazing way to get this minifigs into the hands of 501st fans. Echo was another character from the 501st Legion that I loved watching back in the day, and I'm sure you did too. From his first appearance in Season 1 all the way to the season finale of The Bad Batch, we really saw this dude develop.
Clones don't leave our brothers behind.
And one of my favorite versions of this character has to be when we see him as an ARC trooper during the Citadel arc in the Clone Wars. We only see him in a handful of episodes before he gets absolutely fried to a crisp, just like Anakin, surprisingly enough. But in that brief appearance, he really left an impression on 501st fans. Now, this specific minifig is from Clone Army Customs and is an amazing option for this character, and I believe he would fit in really well and be an awesome minifig to see in a 501st CMF.
Hardcase, right? Yeah, that's what they call me.
Hardcase was a clone who fought alongside Rex and the boys in battles like Saleucami all the way up to the Battle of Umbara, where he sacrifices himself for the mission.
Live to fight another day.
I think this dude is perfect for any 501st mock, but if you're building an Umbara mock, I feel like you have to feature this character. And he's another one of those characters that I know people really want to see in Lego form, and I know they would also be super happy to see this dude in a CMF.
When it comes to the health of the men, including you, I outrank everyone.
Kix was the noble medic of the 501st Legion who actually has incredible lore in the Star Wars books, which I highly recommend you check out. This is another character who fought alongside Rex in battles like Saleucami and Umbara, and in every episode you could tell that his main goal was to make sure his brother stayed alive. Now this is another character that I would love to see in Lego form, which is why I picked up this specific Kix minifig from Clone Army Customs. Now outside of Kix being a really cool character and minifigure, having a medic minifig allows you to add more aspects to your mock, which I have really enjoyed. Fives. Fives is another notable member of the Domino Squad and 501st Legion that we saw grow into an ARC trooper alongside his brother Echo, all the way from being a rookie on Camino. Now this guy is such an interesting character, has great lore, and some people even think that he is their favorite member of the 501st. I mean, this guy almost exposed Order 66, and he would have if not for everyone's least favorite clone trooper, Commander Fox.
Everybody hates me!
No, little dude, honest.
Hold on, I hate him.
Now, I am totally aware that we received a minifigure for this character last year. However, this guy came in a set that was priced over $50 that really had no correlation to him or the Clone Wars in general. And let's be honest, Lego really needs to get back in the lab with this one. Just look at it compared to my Clone Army Customs version that I'm showing you now. So this gives Lego an opportunity to not only reprint the minifigure, but it is also a great way to get this minifigure at a more reasonable price.
Hanging in there, Top. So far, so good, Captain.
Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but Tup was the first clone trooper to execute Order 66 after his inhibitor chip prematurely activated during the Battle of Ringo Vinda. This guy was a clone that we saw a lot during the Clone Wars, and to see him go the way he did was definitely tough. But he is an awesome character that I would love to see a minifig for in a CMF, because realistically, we would likely never see him in another set. And I know Tup is one of those characters that a lot of us fans would want to see in Lego form. I myself am one of them, and I think he's the perfect minifig to have for your 501st Army and for this CMF.
I had to. He betrayed us.
Dogma was the teacher's pet clone that we saw a lot of during the Umbara arc of the Clone Wars. This dude is the definition of actually that a lot of us love to hate during those episodes on Umbara, as he continued to advocate for a general that was actively trying to kill not only him, but all of his brothers. And I think this minifigure came out awesome, and he really matches well with other 501st minifigs in my collection and this CMF.
I think we're on farmland, and where there's a farm, there's usually a farmer.
Jesse was one of the OG 501st clones that we see in the early days of the Clone Wars all the way until the final days of the Republic. However, Jesse's story symbolically ends in the last episode of the Clone Wars as he dies with the Republic he served and the logo he slapped on his helmet. For me personally, this guy is right up there with Echo and Fives as one of those really interesting characters that we saw develop throughout all the seasons of the Clone Wars, which is why I had to pick up this minifig from Clone Army Customs, and he has to be one of my favorite that I've had in my collection. I mean, he is literally the thumbnail on one of my first ever videos. With that being said, I've used this guy in so many mocks, and I've really enjoyed using him. He's been a really good minifig to have in my collection, which is why I think he is a necessity for this CMF. The ARF Trooper is a special clone variant that I have loved incorporating into my 501st Army. These dudes were more commonly known for taking on advanced recon missions and for driving the always famous AT-RT. Now, Lego has made ARF Troopers in the past, however, they haven't made one specific to the 501st Legion, which is why I think this minifig would be an awesome one to get into 501st CMF, so you can have this type of clone in your 501st Army.
Kenobi, sir, no one could have survived that fall.
The Airborne Trooper is another clone variant that we have seen in episode 3 and in Lego form. I think this clone is incredibly interesting, which is why I think they're an awesome minifig for a 501st Army. To be honest, one of my favorite groups in my 501st Army is actually my custom Airborne Troopers. This is why I feel like this minifig would be another perfect addition to a 501st Army, because it's another minifig that we could just add to our collection.
Let's go.
The 501st Snow Trooper was a character we saw in the early seasons of the Clone Wars, and even though they only appeared for one episode, us fans really loved these guys. And I built this minifig by swapping out some pieces on the official Snow Trooper and adding this Clone Army Customs helmet, which I've gone over in other videos in the past. I've used this guy in a couple of other mocks before, but I think this too is a really cool minifig to have for your 501st Army. Now for the 12th and final spot, I figured I would put in a clone Snow Trooper Captain Rex, but I was curious if you'd rather see a Phase 2 Captain Rex in here as well. I think the Snow Trooper would be a really cool minifig to see because we haven't seen it before. However, I think the Phase 2 Captain Rex would be fun to add given all the recent controversy around the minifig. I mean, why not throw it in there and see what people say?
What were those things? We couldn't kill them. I've heard stories of a Genosian hive mind.
A couple of minifigs I thought about adding were Denal from Season 1, a Phase 1 Echo and Fives from the Battle of Camino, and even an Apo minifigure. But were there any minifigs that you'd want to see in Lego form? Let me know in the comments below. And I also wanted to give a big shout out to Jonak Toys and Clone Army Customs. This is not a sponsored video, but if you wanted to check them out, I'll leave a link to their website below. And if you like this concept, check out my other CMF videos here. And if you want to see some cool Star Wars mocks, check out this video here. But as always, thanks for swinging by the cantina today. I wish you safe travels, and I'll see you in the next one.